Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering, to those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
I think we have the college basketball title futures. UConn's number one.
I really like Houston. I'd have them winning it all, but you can't be giving Drake jerseys. What is wrong with you?
Maybe the Drake curse is stronger in college basketball.
Well, how long has he been riding with Kentucky?
He wore an Alabama jersey and Saban retired.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right. I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking here for the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're ready for nonstop, for the most part, NBA draft conversation, because we're now less than a week away from the 2024 NBA draft. When we sit here a week from today, we're going to know what happened in the first round of the NBA draft. Did the Grizzlies use the 9th pick, move up, move down, move out of the first round completely? We'll have our answers this time next week. Right now, still more questions than answers. And the big headline connected to the draft over the past 24 hours, Alex Sarr, who for a while had been projected by most to be the number one pick, has, to this point, declined opportunities to work out for the Atlanta Hawks. This is interesting because, I don't know if you heard, but the Atlanta Hawks have the number one pick in the NBA draft. We'll talk through all of it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When I finish this open, we're going to take a break. Come back. We'll do 5 more things you need to know. Which one we're going to discuss? 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Kendrick Lamar had a party inside the Kia Forum in Inglewood last night. Euphoria was performed for the first time. Not Like Us was performed for the first time, and for the second time, and the third time, and the fourth time, and the fifth time. Rough night for that colonizer, Drake, that master manipulator. We'll spend some time on that in about 25 minutes. Don't let the Indiana Fever get hot.
Oh, they are playing well.
Don't let them get hot. That's 3 straight for Caitlin Clark's franchise. They're now 6-10 after starting 0-5. Getting better every day. That's all you want to see is progress.
Right,
That's what you want to see. We'll talk WNBA in just a bit. In other league news, Cameron Brink, significant part of this historically great rookie class, done for the season, torn ACL. That's not great news for the LA Sparks. I'll give you some details in the next segment. Tennessee Vols baseball program, College World Series final. They've advanced. They're going to play Texas A&M. They're now 2 wins away from their first national championship in this sport. We'll talk college baseball a little later on in the show. And I did visit Globe Life Field in Arlington for the first time. I did it earlier this week, Mets Rangers. Fun experience for me and the family. I'll tell you how nice it is to watch baseball indoors in Texas. We'll do that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out and call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with the 2024 NBA draft because this time next week we're going to be looking back at night 1 of the 2024 NBA draft. And it means that this time next week we're going to know exactly what the Grizzlies did with that 9th pick. Did they trade up? Did they trade down? Did they trade out of the first round completely? Or did they execute the 9th pick on a player? And if so, whom? Lots of questions. Big Bet Bennett, we still don't have many answers. Have you reached the point where you got NBA draft fever, or are you still celebrating Jason Tatum's and Jaylen Brown's first NBA titles?
No, I was actually ready for the NBA Finals to end because now, I have draft fever.
You've locked into draft fever.
Well, the offseason's here. It's time to make some moves. It's time to get this championship roster together.
The offseason is officially here, and the latest news is that the Atlanta Hawks might not be locked in on Alex Sarr as the number 1 pick, in part because he might not be locked in on them. Reportedly, Atlanta wants to bring him in for a workout, a visit. That makes sense. Why wouldn't you? But to date, he has declined to work out for the Hawks. They've brought in Zachary Ricochet. They've brought in Donovan Clingan. Reed Shepherd has worked out in Atlanta, but Alex Sarr has not. Does this make sense to you?
So it wouldn't be the first time, right?
No. Famously, Eli Manning, said, I don't want to play here. I want to play there. And this kind of stuff does happen in basketball. It does happen in football. But usually it happens, I don't know. This is one where you could be joining a playoff team or at least a postseason team and living in one of the great American cities / southern cities, that we got. Why are you not interested in going there? Because if you don't go there, you know where you're probably going?
Washington.
So,
yeah, I don't, and that's, Washington's a fine city too.
Of course, it's our nation's capital, Bennett, but, if you just told me I was a basketball player and I get to play for one franchise and live in one city and I got to pick Atlanta or D.C. in this moment in time, I think I'd pick Atlanta, but there's some thought that maybe Alex Sarr doesn't want to pick Atlanta. It's just unusual.
Well, it's kind of interesting, too, because you look at the lottery, like, okay, so let's say you fall down. Let's say you get your wish and you don't go to Atlanta, and let's say you don't go to Washington. Maybe you want to go to Houston, right? Okay. Well, after that, it's San Antonio and Detroit. I don't know what is. Well,
the thought would be
deal is here.
The thought would be, listen, he ain't slipping all the way down there.
No,
because
I got it.
He will either go 1. If he doesn't go 1, he'll go 2, and if he doesn't go 2. Even if the Rockets don't want him because they feel like they've got Şengün and they're happy at center and they don't know that that'll work together, although I'm not certain that's true, but then they're going to know somebody's want to come up and get him, and so they'll start taking phone calls on it. So he's not at risk at falling far, but just on a very surface level, I'm confused by the idea that he would refuse to work out for Atlanta because what that suggests is he doesn't want to be the number 1 pick in the draft. It suggests he doesn't want to be in Atlanta, and I'm sure he has his reasons. But I will tell you, even the people who are reporting this, they don't provide reasons. They just report Alex Sarr has yet to work out for the Hawks. Could change between now and next week, but right now he hasn't worked out for the Hawks. And they don't go on to say, and the reason is because ABC. It's just like he hasn't done it yet. You do some Google searches, Twitter searches, really get into the weeds. There's some thought that he might want to play power forward more than he wants to play center, that he might want to be a high-usage offensive player, and there's it's unclear how much of that you could be playing with Trae Young.
Yep.
Might not want to play with Trae Young. Might not know if Trae Young's going to be there going forward. But whatever questions you have about Atlanta's franchise, wouldn't you have more questions about Washington's franchise?
Absolutely. I mean, what I was saying, I don't think he would be the first number 1 pick to not go work out for said team.
Oh no, he wouldn't
in the NBA. So. They may draft him anyways.
But the way this would normally go, I don't even remember if this one went this way, but I bet it did. And either way, it would fit the example. When this stuff becomes an actual thing, think of it when Philadelphia is picking first, The Lakers are picking second. Lonzo Ball's in the draft. The Sixers want you to come in and work out for them. And you say no because you want to go to L.A. You're from L.A. You played at UCLA. Your dad's been on TV every day saying he's going to be a Laker. Well, you can't make the Sixers not take you if they want to, but you can give them reasons not to. You can make it clear to them, I'm not coming to work out for you. I ain't talking to you. I don't want to steak dinner with you. I ain't taking your phone calls. We ain't texting. If you want to take me, but understand you'll be taking somebody you never met and who doesn't want to be there. And then they're like, all right, we'll just take the other guy, and then you get what you want. When this stuff usually happens, it's stuff like that. I don't want to go to this place that's picking first because I would much rather go to this place that's picking second. The Lakers are picking second. The Wizards are picking second.
Like disaster franchise, at least right now.
Right.
I mean, you don't know where they're going.
Right. No,
what's the plan there?
What is the plan there?
Yeah.
Who do they even have as good?
Jordan Poole.
Like, what's the plan there? Right.
Right.
That might be the last place I want to go.
I think so.
Downtown Arena. Downtown is struggling like some downtowns are around this country. Attendance is awful. Team's terrible. You don't even like San Antonio's terrible, but you can see what they're building around.
That's right.
Washington's just terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would refuse to work out with Atlanta if the most likely byproduct of that is you end up in Washington.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Either way, that is where the betting markets at least seem to think we're going now. Because at FanDuel, in this moment, the leading candidate to be, the betting favorite to be the number one pick in the draft, it is no longer Alex Sarr. It was Alex Sarr. It's now Zachary Richichet, the 6'8", 6'9" wing from France, whose range seems to be anywhere from like 1 to 4, 1 to 5. But he is now the betting favorite at FanDuel to be the number one pick in the draft. And if you're a Grizzlies fan, and let's talk about this from the Grizzlies' perspective, I actually think that is ideal. If you're the Grizzlies.
Richichet going number one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least going 1 or 2, but going number one. And if you feel confident heading into the draft that he is going to be the first pick, then what that ensures, this is the way the math works, it ensures that at number 3, if Richichet goes 1, at number 3, either Donovan Clingan or Alex Sarr have to be available. And the Rockets are a candidate for the Grizzlies to trade with there. Would you be interested in making a move up if you feel confident that Richichet is going 1? Would you be confident in moving up to 3 because you know no matter what happens at 2, you can either then draft your center, your theoretical center, front court piece, maybe that's the better way to put it. You can draft your theoretical front court piece next to Jaren Jackson Jr., whatever position you want to call him, with the 3rd pick, either Donovan Clingan or Alex Sarr. Don't answer that question.
Okay.
Let's take a break. Let's pay some bills.
Okay.
And then when we come back, I'll get your answer to that. It's the Gary Parrish Show. We're presented by Ortho Sound.
Mike did his favorite black films of all time. Mike, where we at?
If there's one movie I know every single line to, it is Coming to America.
There we go.
It is Coming to America. It can come on any time of any day, and I'm going to stop and watch at least 20 minutes of it.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. November 14th, FedEx Forum. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guests. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Heart with Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Produced by AEG Presents.
Now for a limited time, the new $1.99 crispy tender wraps are here at Sonic. Who could deny a crispy chicken tender with bold flavors like hickory barbecue and cheesy Baja? And we can't forget the crisp lettuce and melty cheese to make the perfect bite. Wrap yourself up with some TLC, tender, love, and chicken for only $1.99. Sonic $1.99 crispy tender wraps. Tax not included. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Look at the score. Look at the score he does this.
Hey, but look at the bench, though.
Look at number 3.
Right before I walked in the locker room, Danny Ainge pulled me to the side and said, hey, Tony Allen, come here. Let me give you a little basketball etiquette. When you're down 40, do not do an in-game windmill. It's just disgusting for the game.
The Chris Vernon Show, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. We have another edition. This will be the 3rd edition of the Debate Club. You guys are going to sell a shoe to Mr. Bennett Doyle, our producer over here.
Oh, yeah.
I saw these.
I've seen these.
I saw these on social media too.
It's the perfect house shoe.
I know, right?
Like, yeah, it's not even a house shoe. I bet you they're really comfortable. You know, you heard of unisex. This is unifoot. Oh, my God.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're in the Built Ford Tough studio discussing the 2024 NBA Draft. Before we went to break, I asked Bennett a question. I'll repeat it just in case anybody forgot, including him. Zachary Ricochet goes 1. Or at least you're the Grizzlies. You feel confident he's going to go 1. All your intel leading up to the draft says, hey, the Hawks have settled on him. He's going number 1. I want to be clear. It might not be him. It could be Donovan Clingan.
Yeah, I got it.
And I thought it was interesting when Dan Hurley was doing his media tour after turning down the Lakers. One of the things he just sort of said in passing, he wasn't even talking about Donovan Clingan or the Atlanta Hawks. He was just sort of talking about people he talked to throughout this process, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, I talked to Billy Donovan. You know, he's been a great mentor for a long time. And I talked to Seth Greenberg at ESPN. Seth's been somebody I've trusted for a long time. He said, I talked to Quinn Snyder because Quinn's been through this. College coach, goes to the NBA. Now he's back in the NBA. Yep. He said, but I have been talking to Quinn because, the Hawks are very interested in Donovan. He just sort of said it in passing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said I had been talking to Quinn anyway because the Hawks are very interested in Donovan. Well, that meant something to me because that's Donovan Clingan's coach saying the team with the number 1 pick, they're very interested in my center. And Clingan has worked out there and reportedly was great.
And I've seen multiple mock drafts with him at number 1.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not crazy to think that he could go number 1. It's kind of, you think you're giving up a little bit maybe on upside stardom.
Right.
Maybe you're giving up a little bit on that, but he does seem like a safe pick. And
that's right.
He's going to be somebody who is going to anchor your interior defense for a decade. And though he didn't shoot it a lot at UConn, stretch it all the way out to the three-point line. Mm-hmm. There is some thought that he can do that eventually. And for what it's worth, in the workout in Atlanta, he reportedly shot it really, really well. Now, like I've always said, there is a big, big, massive difference between shooting a basketball in a gym,
right,
when nobody's guarding you and you're not running up and down and you're just catch and shoot stuff.
Right.
That's very different than playing with 9 other dudes on the court. You can take a good NBA shooter, and I don't want to put an exact number on it, but take what you consider to be a good NBA shooter and put him at the three-point line in an open gym, and they'll just bang them in all day long.
Yeah.
Just boom, 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 boom.
Right.
Now you got somebody contesting, a 6'8" guy with a 7'1" wingspan. It's a little different.
No, dude, Steven Adams can hit threes and shoot around. I've seen it. Yeah,
day
right.
long.
Right.
They all can. It's crazy. I bet you if you took, who is the biggest joke of a shooter in the NBA? Whoever it is, you take them and you put them at the three-point line and they'll make more than you.
Right.
They'll kill you in a three-point shooting contest.
Right.
And probably kill somebody you think's an actually good shooter in a three-point shooting contest. So I don't know what it means when you're just knocking down shots nonstop in an open gym. It doesn't mean you're ready to go stretch the floor in the NBA, but it's better than missing them.
Yeah, that's
it's better than missing them. My point is this. He had a great workout in Atlanta, interviewed well. Everybody at UConn, I can just tell you, they love him. So you're not going to get any, really good rim protector, but we had some problem with him. They didn't have any problems with him. There are no problems. There are at least no problems that have ever been reported or that I've ever heard.
Okay.
So there's going to be no red flags. He apparently interviews really well, impressive, just sitting in front of you, and then obviously impressive on a basketball court. So, yes, you're right. There is a chance he could go number 1, at which point Alex Sarr could go number 2, at which point everything I'm about to say becomes moot. Sam Vecini, our friend at The Athletic, does have an updated mock draft this morning, and you know who he's got going number 1? Donovan Clingan. Okay. But again, the betting favorite right now at FanDuel, it is Zachary Richardson. This coming after the report that Alex Sarr has so far not worked out for the Hawks, and they might be cooling on him in part because he might be cool on them for whatever reason. So, you're the Grizzlies.
Yep.
Bennett, suddenly you're running the franchise.
Oh, that sounds great.
Wouldn't it be amazing to go from that chair to running the franchise?
Let's go.
You know, if J.J. Redick can do it, I don't know why you can't. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know why you can't. J.J. Redick can't.
I bumped into Zach Kleiman in the halls before.
Yeah.
I think we'd get along well.
I think y'all would get. I know both of you. I like both of you.
Yeah.
I think you guys would get along well.
I mean, no offense to you. Like, if Zach Kleiman was like, "Hey, dude, I need an assistant here," like,
I don't know if I'd make a good assistant.
Like, I might have to say, GP, this is a great opportunity.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I would not hold you back.
Yeah,
I wouldn't hold you back. I'd miss you.
I'd miss you too.
But I wouldn't
maybe
hold
he'd
you.
let me come do this show.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have to ask stuff to talk through.
Right.
All right. So in the spirit of preparing for that moment, if it were to come, I've now put you in charge of the franchise.
Put the GM cap on.
Can you imagine Bennett going from that chair to the
so
front?
Cool.
Wouldn't it be something? So and then
I'd make Grizzlies fans proud. I promise y'all.
We'd send you to the lottery and let you sit on TV.
Be fun.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Me and EP. Be
as long
time.
as EP's not available, we're not going to let you.
Or we go together. We're buddies. Yeah.
Yeah. You and EP go. Y'all go way back.
Yeah.
Y'all could go together. All right. Perfect. This is all coming together pretty good. All right. You're running the franchise.
Okay.
And you've got a pretty good understanding that Ricochet is going number 1. The Hawks are going to take him. And by definition, if he goes 1, then either Alex Sarr or Donovan Clingan have to be there
at 3.
At 3.
Okay.
They have to be there. Not to mention, Reed Shepherd could be there. Not to mention, Don Connect could be there. Like, whatever. At that point, in the spirit of, man, we love either Clingan or Sarr. Let's just keep it there for a second. We love Clingan. We love Sarr. We know one of them is going to be available at 3 because Ricochet's going 1. Let's move up and go get him. You willing to do it? And if so, you willing to pay the price to do it? Because it's unclear what the price would be. But one possible trade out there, sitting there, floating around, getting those Twitter streets, floating around.
There.
Marcus Smart, the 9th pick, to move up to number 3. Would you do it?
No.
You'd say no.
No, I do not want to do that. I have been saying this for weeks now. I would prefer Marcus Smart on this team.
You like Marcus
next
Smart on the
season.
team?
One, first off, you throw out last season because it's just none of it matters.
I would love to throw out last season.
I would too, but as far
I threw it out in like December.
As far as like Marcus Smart on this roster, everything that happened last season, I take none of it into account. I feel like that we have not seen Marcus Smart with the version of the Grizzlies that we know.
That's fair.
So I would like to have Marcus Smart on this team next year because the other thing is, dude, who's your primary defender? Like, who's the guy that you're putting on Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Luka and Kyrie and Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown? Like, who is that guy?
Vince?
I think, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I hear you.
And I think Vince is an awesome defender and going to be an awesome defender and going to be a big piece on this team. I'm just saying, man, we've seen it a long time with Marcus Smart. We got a big sample size, and I think he's just a winning player. I just don't know if that center that's out there, and maybe Donovan Clingan is like that dude in the next like big deal in this league. I just personally don't value the center position as much because I look at what's happening in the NBA. And now, granted, two of the like the up and comer in Victor Wembanyama, and then the guy that's been there in Nikola Jokic. Like those are the two guys you really got to worry about.
It's funny. Like,
so
no, I hear you because it's funny. This never gets lost on me. There's this perception of like the center position's been devalued in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then you look up and like the MVP's a center, the best rookie's a center.
That's true. It's true.
Like maybe the number 1 pick in the draft's gonna be a center. So I think here's the truth. Centers are devalued in the sense that even good ones can get played off the floor.
Yep.
And very few people play through them anymore, right? The way you might still see in college basketball sometime. But a great center is still immensely valuable.
That's true. And you got to throw Embiid in there too.
And Holmgren was a top 5 pick a few years ago and looks the part. I know some people who actually work in NBA front offices, and they will tell you, I would not take a center in the top 10. And I just don't understand that. Because what you're saying is that you wouldn't take Victor Wembanyama before the 11th pick in any draft. And that makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is I would be down to take Donovan Clingan if I think he's got a chance to be a player on that level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
of
you
a
can't
Chet
predict that.
Holmgren, of a Nikola Jokic,
okay.
of a something like that. That's what I'm saying.
I will say I am intrigued by the idea of moving up to 3. And if you guarantee me we get Sarr or Clingan, I do wonder if Marcus Smart plus the 9 it's too big of a price to pay.
I think it's too big of a price to pay.
And you can't do anything about, what's already done is done. But you start, and this is what people do, they'll start looking at, okay, the Grizzlies gave this up to get Marcus Smart, and then they put Marcus Smart in this other deal, and then you add it all up, and the Grizzlies gave all of this stuff to draft Donovan Clingan.
Yep.
Was that worth it? And I know what's already done is done, so it doesn't matter. But that is the way it will be framed. I'm not certain. I don't want to be on the record either way right now. I honestly hadn't put enough thought into it.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in moving up to 3. I do wonder if Marcus Smart plus the 9th pick is too big of a price.
Yeah.
The other argument would be, because you would hear this from some people, all right, the Celtics moved off of Marcus Smart for a reason, and maybe they just thought it was to improve their team. They just thought they could improve the roster. They weren't trying to get off of him as much as they were trying to add what they added, and they had to move him to add it, and so that's what happened. That's what the Celtics would tell you, by the way. But did they get off of him before you knew what he was? And are you sure he's ever going to be? Like, this idea you have of what Marcus Smart was, that was now multiple years ago.
For sure. And now, like, for me, selfishly, too, just talking about him being on this team, like, that's a guy who's been one of my favorite players in the league for a long time. So I've always wanted to see him in a Grizzlies jersey. And now that it's happened and we didn't really see it because of last season, I want to stick with it and see what it looks like, because I think it could be awesome.
It could be awesome.
Yeah.
It could be awesome.
But to your point, it could be that those better days could be behind
Are you ready?
him.
Like,
Yeah.
we could sit here and talk about it for the next 10 minutes. I don't think we're going to reach a conclusion.
Right.
We'll have to see.
Right.
If you're in that gym every day, you could probably have a good idea of it because you're seeing him, right?
Yeah.
But like from out here, I don't know that you would know what version of Marcus Smart is going to be available to the 2024-25 Grizzlies.
We just put the freaking Funko up in the studio, dude.
I know.
Come on.
I know. I'd be intrigued by it. I don't know that I would actually pull the trigger, but these are the types of conversations we're going to have between now and next week. If you're interested in Sam Vecenie's latest mock draft, again, it published this morning at The Athletic, he does have Clingan going 1 and then Sarr going 2. So that would be the scenario where both the two most heralded front court prospects in this draft, they're both gone 1-2. At that point, you're probably not looking to trade up with the Rockets unless you value somebody else. Like you just say, hey, we want Reed Shepard's actually the guy we think is going to be the best player in this draft, so let's go get him if they're willing to move off of it. But they might feel the exact same way about Reed Shepard. Either way, for the purposes of his latest mock draft, Sam Vecenie's got the Grizzlies just sitting where they sit and picking 9th. And you know who he's got him picking? Devin Carter out of Providence. Same guy I've had him picking now for a couple of weeks. He has.
I don't mind that.
Well,
I'm a fan.
The way Sam described it, and I think this is true, it lines up with my reporting as well. Sam says nobody has helped themselves more in the pre-draft process than Devin Carter. I don't know if that's true, but I know if you were putting together a list of 5 people who have helped themselves tremendously through the pre-draft process, Devin Carter would be on the list. He's like the opposite of what Gigi Jackson went through last year. When Gigi Jackson left South Carolina, he was projected as a first-round pick. Everybody had him mocked as a first-rounder, largely based on the natural ability and the fact that he was previously the number 1 ranked high school player in his class. Then he went through the pre-draft process, and we've been over it, but it didn't go well for him, and that's how he ended up getting picked 45th by the Grizzlies. Lucky us, but if you wonder, I thought this guy was going to be a lottery pick, and he ended up 45th. What happened? It was, by and large, poor performances in the pre-draft process, both on the court and in the interviews. All right? This is exactly the opposite. When Devin Carter entered the 2024 NBA draft after winning Big East Player of the Year. People forget this. I don't know that he should have won it just because I have a issue on some level of a guy who didn't make the NCAA tournament being a Player of the Year in a conference where our two-time and reigning national champions sit, and there's first-team All-American Tristan Newton on the roster. I would have voted Tristan Newton Big East Player of the Year. Donovan Clingan also on that team. Tyler Kolek also in that league. There are a lot of great players in the Big East.
Yep.
Devin Carter is the Big East Player of the Year. I don't know if he should have won it, but he did. And he was statistically awesome. When I say I don't know if he should have won it, what I mean is based on team success. I think that should matter as well, factor in. And in a league as good as the Big East, again, where a national champion did emerge from, I don't know that you should be taking a Player of the Year off of a team that didn't make the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
So when I say that, it's got nothing to do with Devin. Just usually you have to have more team success to win awards like that, particularly when there are great teams in your league. But he won the award. And when you started looking at mock drafts back in February, March, early April, maybe a first-round pick, maybe not. Probably a second-round pick. Now he's a lottery pick, according to a lot of people. And I've had him in the top 10 for weeks now. And Sam Vecini moved him into the top 10 at number 9 with the Grizzlies. Here's what he wrote. No potential lottery selection has helped themselves more throughout the pre-draft process than Carter. He's taken an anywhere, anytime approach to workouts, feeling confident he can measure up to the best players in the class. Like Jaime Jaquez last season, Carter is an older prospect who has shown up in front of teams and given anyone he's faced difficulty with his athleticism, elite defense, and work rate. Team sources have also touted him as leaving one of the strongest impressions in pre-draft interviews. He goes on, but let me stop here. Some of this stuff just works, right? It just works. When you're an elite defender who is athletic and you're impressive individually and you love to work, like that stuff is going to be there. This isn't like, well, I don't know if he's this or that. Like sometimes when you're talking about prospects, it'll be like, well, he's a below average shooter, but I think he can improve, but he might not. We'll see. If you are already being described at this age as athletic, elite defensively, and willing to work at it and do it, like a lot of people can guard. The difference between great defenders and not great defenders sometimes is, do you want to do it? Will you do it? Can you make yourself do it? Do you take pride in it? It's why the cliche is defense travels, because you should be able to play hard and move your feet. And if you are physically capable of doing these things, you should be able to do these things every time, every night, as long as you're not exhausted and as long as you're willing to do it. Well, Devin Carter is willing to do it, and he has the physical tools to do it. That stuff's going to be there. That's easy. Wherever he plays in the NBA, you will never have to worry about, can he guard his position? He's going to be able to do that as a rookie. He's an improved shooter. Has not been a proven shooter from the perimeter his entire career, but he shot it well at Providence this season, and he has improved. It's not linear, but from the time he entered college to the time he exited college, he improved as a shooter dramatically. It didn't go straight like this. It was whatever.
Yep.
But like it went from here to here. It's good. And I understand that if you're Atlanta or Washington and you're in, maybe not Atlanta, that's not a good one, but if you're Washington, Portland, one of these franchises that is like truly rebuilding, Detroit, maybe you don't want somebody this age who is a plug-and-play option. Perhaps you're looking for the higher upside guy, Ron Holland, whatever. But I know you're going to be working with Zach Kleiman soon.
That's right.
But right now he's still in charge. And he's made it clear that the championship window is open now. And their interest is walking through it, if possible. That doesn't sound like a man who is necessarily turned off by 22 and 23-year-old prospects. Some franchises, some general managers, people leading franchises would be, because it doesn't fit with the timeline. But if the timeline is next season, I'm not saying this has to be a determining factor. I'm just saying if the timeline is next season, I don't care that somebody is 22 or 23 years old as a rookie. What I care about is I'm trying to win now.
Yeah.
Can this person help me win now? It doesn't mean I would take every 19-year-old and 18-year-old and put X's on them through my big board and say we're not taking any of these because we're trying to win now. There's a lot of different things to consider. But whereas some franchises would look at Devin Carter and say, a little old for me, I don't think that's something the Grizzlies should be caring about at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't whether they move up, whether they move down, whether they stay put at 9. I do not think you're going to look up the day after the draft and see that the Grizzlies drafted a guy that's it might take a minute. They're going to draft a guy that they think can play right now for this team.
Right now, if it gets to a point where they genuinely believe the best prospect available is a 19-year-old or an 18-year-old, well, then I don't think this idea should eliminate you from going down that path. I'm just saying, I'm looking at it from the other perspective. Sometimes people will look at a 22, 23-year-old prospect and just say, not for us. I'd rather take the 19-year-old who still has tons of room to grow.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I've never even accepted that as a sensible thing, because what it suggests is that 22-year-olds are finished products, or 23-year-olds don't have room to grow. Go watch LeBron James at 22 and go watch LeBron James at 23. He's a different player. 24, different player. LeBron James wasn't a finished product at 22 or 23. Why would Devin Carter be? So I'd sort of reject the premise, but there are franchises who look at it that way. I'd rather all things being equal, this player is better than this player. But this player's 19 and this player's 23, so let's take the 19-year-old.
Yeah.
There are franchises who do that. I'm just saying the Grizzlies, in this moment, I don't think should be worried about that. I wouldn't be turned off by somebody's age if I thought they were best equipped to be a lasting member of the franchise and somebody who is going to be able to help pretty quickly, if not immediately. It's fine with me. I don't even need to see their birth certificate. And Devin Carter seems to check that box.
Okay.
In my mock draft, I've got Dalton Knecht already off the board. So does Sam. Others have asked me, they've seen the mock. They say, so you would take Devin Carter over Dalton Knecht? No, I don't think I would. I like Devin Carter. I think I would take Dalton Knecht over Devin Carter. But in my mock, I don't manipulate it to try to make it best for the Grizzlies. I go through it based on intel and personal feelings, and then I get to where I get, and I go, okay, who should this franchise select? If Dalton Knecht's on board at 9, I would prefer that over Devin Carter. But I've got him off the board. So does Vicini. Most people do at this point. Reed Shepard as well. Sarr, Ricochet, Klingon. Almost all of them are going to be off the board at 9. Devin Carter is somebody who could be there. And if he is there, he's sensible for a lot of reasons. It'll be noted that his father does work for the franchise. I don't think that's why you take him. That might be why you're more comfortable taking him.
Yeah.
You're impressed by the father.
Yeah.
You know
more familiarity.
The father knows his son. You know everything, that you need to know about the family. It could be among the things that makes you more comfortable doing it. But it's not the type of thing you should do just because his father does work here. But his father does work here, and that connection, if this does go down on draft night, that connection will get made then. The other option is just sit at 9. You don't go up to get Klingon. You don't go to get Sarr. They're both off the board. But you are sitting there at 9, and maybe Devin Carter's sitting there, but also Zach Edey.
Interesting.
Kello Ware. Yves Missy. These are all center prospects that most people have projected to go somewhere between 10 and 20, 10 and 25, 10 and 30, outside of the top 10. But it's not crazy if you believe one of these people. They're all less thought of than the Klingon Sarr front court tandem, where there's questions about his focus and work ethic and, that kind of stuff. With Edey, we've talked about that for feels like years at this point. Incredible college player. There are legitimate questions about how it's going to work at the NBA level. And Missy is an incredible physical specimen, but probably a little further away from contributing in the NBA than the other two guys. He was a one-and-done guy at a Baylor. So you could just sit at 9 and take your center, or move down and wait for Ware, Edey, or Missy to fall to you. There's a lot of different ways to go. And what makes it more complicated this year than it is in most years is that even a week out of the draft, less than a week now, we don't know who's going to be the number 1 pick. Again, FanDuel has now made Ricochet the betting favorite. Klingon is number 1 in some mocks. Sarr's number 1 in some mocks. My colleague Matt Norlander has a mock that posted yesterday. You know who he's got going number one? And he's clear he doesn't believe this person is going to go number one, but he believes this person should. Dalton Knecht.
Wow.
So there's a lot of different ways this could go. It makes it harder to try to figure out who's going to be there at 6, who's going to be there at 8, who's going to be there at 9. So these conversations will continue to be had until draft night. But all the reports are that the Grizzlies are interested in moving up, and they are interested in Clingan. And just to sort of circle back to the initial point, if the current reporting is accurate, and Ricochet is now the favorite to be the pick of the Atlanta Hawks, then that probably means Clingan will be there at 3. Because Sarr is probably going 2, and then Klingan's probably there at 3. And if you want him, most indications are that Houston would be open to a deal if you're ready to make one.
Okay.
That's your basketball talk for the day. Now we get to the good stuff. What a fun concert that was last night. Kendrick Lamar and his friends were at the Kia Forum in Inglewood. It was the pop-out show. His first performance since destroying that master manipulator, that colonizer Drake. It was a party. It was streamed live on Amazon Prime. Felt like the whole world was watching it. I know the whole world wasn't, but it felt like the whole world was. That's what my Twitter timeline was consumed with. We'll talk about it next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
Shall we talk about our favorite NBA Finals MVPs? Number 3 is a little bit of Canadian history because it's the first and only NBA championship that the country as a whole has. I'm going to go with Kawhi Leonard's second Finals MVP. I still get my little heart warm even thinking about it, and I was there watching every game. IMHO with Lang Whitaker and me, Kelsey Wright Johnson, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
If you look at it as far as the number 9 pick over the years, there's been some pretty good players that have surfaced at number 9. Of course, Dirk Nowitzki, who won a championship. There's been a lot of great guys, but who knows if there is a great guy in this draft.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz Beat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What is going on? What is it? Which one? What color was it?
With speckles.
Yeah, that's vomit. That's vomit. Yeah, that is the worst one. The vomit is the worst one. I'd like to remind everybody that this is her idea. She wanted to do this.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Hey Grizzlies fans, turn your stadium excitement into betting action at Southland Casino Hotel. As a proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies, Southland brings you more gaming action than ever before. Step onto our massive casino floor stretching more than 2.5 football fields. Slot enthusiasts can enjoy more than 2,300 machines from penny slots to high limits and play the hottest games like Aristocrat, Dollar Storm, Cloverlink, and Lightning Cash. Table game aficionados can feel the thrill of the felt with 50 live table games. From 3-card to blackjack match, we're ready to deal you in. Plus, don't miss stadium gaming for an interactive digital experience. And for high rollers, our high limit room is calling your name. Go big on 6 high limit blackjack tables or spin one of our 54 high stakes slot machines. Throw in 8 delicious dining options and a 300-room high-rise hotel, and there's plenty to keep you going. At Southland Casino Hotel, the gaming excitement never stops.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
LifeCare Ambulance is proud to be an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies and FedEx Forum. At LifeCare, they wear their hearts with pride. Their passion is their people. They want you to love what you do and where you do it. Their employee-driven culture encourages a healthy work-life balance and supportive work environment. They invest in your success and well-being so that you can provide the best care for the patients that they serve. Join the incredible team of EMTs and paramedics in Memphis, Nashville, and across the nation today. Learn more at lifecareamb.com.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Big music event last night out in Inglewood. Kia Forum, Kendrick Lamar and his friends, they popped out, put on a show. It was a Juneteenth celebration, obviously, but also Drake's funeral. That's a rough night for Drake. How'd you like to be Drake last night or any night?
I mean, I wouldn't be, just judging based on what everybody was saying online.
That was a rough night for Drake last night. He's a master manipulator.
Seemed like it probably was a rough night.
He's a
for
colonizer.
him. That's what Kendrick says.
Right.
Yeah.
It is a rough night. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you're Drake and you got 20,000 people show up to an arena and they're all just dancing and having a party, and the whole party is centered around the idea of you being a pedophile.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
And like if you're Drake, I don't know if he was watching it. I hope he didn't. I think Drake watching this would be just as bad as Giselle watching the Tom Brady roast.
Probably.
You know, like Drake should
Maybe
watch
worse.
the Tom Brady roast and Giselle should watch the Pop Out Ken show.
Yeah.
But I don't think Giselle should be watching the Tom Brady roast because that's going to hurt.
Yep.
And I don't think Drake should have been. I hope Drake doesn't have Amazon Prime. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, I bet he does.
I bet he does. It would be wild to have a house like that and not be able to have stuff delivered every day, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't want to live like that.
Damn.
That's not the way I would want to live. So I'm assuming he does have Amazon Prime. I hope he took it off his phone last night. You wouldn't want to watch this.
No.
It's the whole world celebrating your demise.
Yep.
That can't be fun, can it?
No.
Like imagine
Look at all those phones, man.
And like Drake's
Come on, y'all. Live in the moment.
Drake, okay. Let's talk about this for a second. You're offended by that? You're offended by those phones?
No, because I do it too. I mean, listen, when I go to a concert.
Okay, you ready for this? I think most people do it too, but then there's always the people who want to jump on Twitter and say that, but I bet they do it too.
So my thing with a concert is I want to get a couple little videos to post on social media, right? I want people to know that I went to the concert because like everybody cares.
You get. What's the point
You
of even
didn't
going
even
to
go if you
What's
didn't
the
post
point of
about
even
it.
going to a concert if you
Yeah.
can't post about it?
But I mean, I would say like you've got to put it down and live in the moment a little bit. Like get your video. Like you need what, a 30-second video?
Something like that. You got to pick your spots and then get out of it.
Yeah,
can't sit there doing a whole show of film, and I agree with that. But
I think max 2 minutes. I think you can get 2 minutes worth of footage. It can be broken down into 10-second clips, 30-second clips. But I think like after 2 minutes, put the phone down and enjoy the show.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I went to a Kendrick Lamar concert a couple years ago when he was on the Mr. Morale tour.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been to Kendrick Lamar concerts
Yeah, I
multiple
knew-
times. I mean,
yeah,
I'm
I know
not
that.
no big deal.
Yeah, I got
but I've
you.
been to Kendrick Lamar concerts
I got
multiple
you.
times. Went to he opened for Kanye West on the Yeezus tour. We went to Nashville. Homie Roser was with me for that one. I think he was. Maybe. I don't know. So was that Kendrick Lamar? Yeah, I think that was.
I think it was. I remember him talking about it.
No, I think Roser went with me for the Pablo tour, not the Yeezus tour.
Okay.
I don't remember who went on the Yeezus tour. But Kendrick Lamar opened for that. That was in Nashville. It was the night before Thanksgiving because I remember, buddy, I had to wake up and fly to Orlando the next day, and that was a miserable flight. I was tired. I remember being tired. I think I chipped my tooth somehow. I don't remember. So I've been to multiple Kendrick Lamar concerts. It's a party. But imagine somebody said, hey, they're going to have a party in L.A., and it's really just going to be celebrating the idea that you're a pedophile. That's a tough night. It's a hard thing to deal with.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing. And so you turn in if you're Drake. And he's a basketball fan, right?
Yes.
He watches basketball. He thinks he plays basketball.
Yep.
He's got a court at his house. Got a big owl on it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine NBA's all-time scoring leader in the crowd, on TV, dancing to you being called a pedophile. Tough.
And I thought they were friends.
Oh, we've been finding out a lot lately about who's friends and who's not friends. I think Drake thought he had more friends than he actually does.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it's...
Drake's running low on friends.
I would say maybe it's just that the song is good and you're not... Like if you're LeBron, you're not dancing to the meaning of the song. You're just dancing to the good sounding song.
That's the thing. That's the genius behind the song.
Yeah.
By the way, that is the genius behind the song.
For sure. The song rules.
Like it doesn't matter what the song's about.
Yeah.
The song's just like makes you go like this.
Yeah.
No matter, you don't even know what the song's about. You don't have to know. Like, I got a 7-year-old. You think he knows what the song's about? No. But when it comes on, he's like into it, right? You think he knows what the song's about? No. I mean, I told him because I had to keep my family away. I don't want my kids running around Drake. You know, I got to keep my family away too. Kendrick didn't tell me specifically. He told Steph and LeBron, but you know, I got kids. I got young kids too, so I had to talk to my kids about Drake. I did that. So now my kids know what the song is about. But before they knew what the song was about, you know what they did when the song came on? They just it makes you bounce. The song makes you. That's the genius of the song. He made a song calling somebody a pedophile, but it's so catchy that it could be about anything and it would still make you react the same way. But when you see it, it looks like 20,000 people are just dancing to Drake being a pedophile. It's a tough scene. Russell Westbrook's there. DeMar DeRozan is there. He's a former Raptor. There was a time.
He's an LA guy.
There was a time, I know. Kendrick said they didn't even deserve him. They didn't even deserve him. That's what Kendrick said. You didn't even deserve DeMar DeRozan. That's what he said. I don't know whether that's true or not. That's what he said. I don't know, that's what he said. I'm not here to argue.
Gotcha.
All right? There was a time, think about this, when Drake would sit courtside and cheer for DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, that's your favorite player. He's the best player on the team.
He's the best player on your team. And now, that guy's dancing to a song about you being a pedophile.
Damn.
It's tough. Kendrick did you see what Kendrick did?
What did he
Change
do?
the lyrics up. Change the lyrics up. He said, if you give me Pac's ring back, I might show you a little respect. Just flip the lyric a little bit. It was, I heard you got a ring. And I'll pay you twice what you paid for it. I'm talking in normal people terms here, not K-Dot terms. But hey, I heard you got a ring, belonged to Pac. I heard what you paid for it. I'll pay twice for it. Because I'd rather pay twice what you paid to get that ring back than let Pac be disrespected by a Canadian. I love that he just hates him in part because he's Canadian. That part makes me laugh.
I like Canada.
I like most Canadians.
Yeah, Canadians are cool.
Most.
Yeah.
Most.
I mean, they're nice.
Most.
Yeah.
Not all. Can't paint with a broad brush.
I think all Canadians are nice.
Drake's a master manipulator. That's why you think that.
And they'll still be nice to your face.
Colonizer.
I can't pretend to know.
Terrible person. Deadbeat dad. That's what Kendrick said. I don't know.
I saw him posting pictures with his kid on Father's Day.
Yeah. Probably stock pictures. He probably had those from last year.
Okay.
He probably had those from last year. The princess did, she did the same thing. Remember when she tried to post fake pictures on Mother's Day?
Right. That is true.
Remember, but she had a cancer diagnosis, so it's different.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, don't believe everything you see or hear about Canadians.
Okay.
They're not all as great as you think.
All right, fair enough.
They're not all as great. I love that he just part of the hatred is just you're Canadian. I love that being Canadian is an insult in this world. Just being from Canada is part of the insult. I love that part of it. All right, so here's the deal. Hey, Kendrick said, give me Pac's ring back, and I might respect you a little bit. I might show you a little bit of respect. What do you think?
What does that mean? Does he have his ring?
He has Tupac's ring. He bought it.
Oh, yeah.
This is also stupid, I understand. But he bought Tupac's ring. And Kendrick said in the song, I'll pay twice what you pay for it just to get it back because I don't want Pac's ring on some Canadian. I love that he's offended that a Canadian has this ring. That's my favorite part of the whole thing. All right? Last night he switches it up. He says, you know what? You know what, Drake? Give me Pac's ring, and I might show you a little respect. If you're Drake, what do you do?
You're not. I mean, he's not going to give him the ring, but...
What would you do if you're Drake?
It feels like that thing should be in L.A.
Would you?
That's a West Coast ring.
It's a West Coast ring. Would you give that ring to Kendrick?
No. Oh, actually, now, as bad as this has gotten for him, I might, yeah.
I don't think you can.
No. Hold on. Behind the scenes, if you can, make a phone call and say, listen, dude, this has gotten out of hand. I will give you this ring free of charge if you quit talking about me. You can't tell anybody that I did it. I'll give you the ring if you just stop talking about me.
If you could actually pull that off, but you would have to trust that he wouldn't tell the whole story about this
tell the
and
story
show the
and
ring.
Make a song about it, right?
Here's the thing. I don't think Kendrick would show you respect for giving up that ring. I think he would just call you a bitch again.
That's the risk you've got to take. But what are your other options as far as making this stop?
Okay, I've thought about this.
Yeah, how do you make it stop?
I don't think you can make it stop, except for just by ignoring it and just hoping they get bored with it. Can't wait for the summer to be over so this stupid song will stop playing everywhere. All right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can engage him again, ever. That's a disaster. All right? And I don't think you can, try to talk your way out of it. If this were Twitter, if this were real life Twitter, you know what I would advise him to do? I would say you need to mute Kendrick Lamar. Mute him.
Well, yeah.
And stop calling yourself the GOAT and just go make your little hits.
Mm-hmm.
Just go be a hit maker.
Mm-hmm.
And young white people will buy your albums and the culture will never accept you. And there's going to be.
That's not true.
I think it's done with the culture.
No,
I'm not here to speak for the culture. Do I look like I speak for the culture?
No, I mean, me either. But I mean, he's still one of the biggest artists in the world.
Biggest artist in the world.
Yeah.
Not with culture.
I disagree, but whatever.
I think it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And how does he ever get people to work with him again?
That's like people who said they didn't listen to Jethro Tull even though they sold millions of albums. I know that's probably not a great comp, but you get what I'm saying. It's like Nickelback. It's like Nickelback.
Okay.
Where everybody says Nickelback sucks and they hate them, but they've sold 1 million albums, so somebody's out there listening to them.
Yeah, but it ain't the cool people. It's the people that
you know.
It's the cool people.
They're listening to it in their car when nobody's around.
You know what this is actually going to end up being like? I think you're onto something here, and we're getting all over the place.
Yeah.
But I think you're onto something here. Nickelback is a thing that people are broadly speaking, you can't, even if you like the songs, you're just oh no, Nickelback sucks. Because the whole world says Nickelback sucks, so you got to say Nickelback sucks. And by the way, I don't like Nickelback. I don't own their albums. I've never been to a show. But the idea that Nickelback became the face of the worst band in the world is kind of wild because they do sell out arenas and stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's just kind of wild.
Yeah.
But it became a thing.
It did become a thing.
If you like Nickelback, this is what we think of you.
Yes.
So I can't say I like Nickelback. There's a handful of these things in our world. In different, here's another extreme example. You know another one? It's less true today because I think more people are out there with it today. But certainly in 2016 and to an extent in 2020, you know what it's like? Donald Trump. Do you know how many people will vote for him, but they will never put that hat on? They will never even tell you that they did it. But they will do it.
Yeah, thousands.
Millions.
Probably.
Tens of millions.
Yeah, you're right.
The guy might win the election.
Yeah.
All right? The amount of, if you vote for most candidates in most elections, you just say, yeah, I voted for George Bush, or I voted for Barack Obama, or I voted for Joe Biden, or I voted for Ronald Reagan, or I voted for Bill Clinton. And you're of course, yeah, that's who I voted for. It's what's the big deal? This candidate, there are countless people who will vote for him enthusiastically, but will not say it out loud. Will not, you ask them, they'll be like, oh, I don't think, they won't say it, right? But they'll do it. And they'll go home and they'll close their doors and lock them, and then they'll put up their Trump flag. But they won't fly it in front of their house. Now, I know there are people who will fly it in front of the house.
For sure.
But what I'm trying to say is there's a segment of people who will not publicly say, this my guy, but privately it's their guy. And they still rock with him, right?
Yep.
That's Drake. That's Drake going forward.
Yeah.
There will be people who will rock with him, but you can't be out there on Instagram being like, man, this new Drake album, this is the album of the year. Because you know what people are going to say? Wop, 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 wop. That's all you got. That's your life now. And there'll be some people who still be out there, but the rest of us will be like, oh, you're a pedophile too then. It's a tough spot for Drake to be in.
Wow.
It's a tough spot.
Yeah.
I think you just have to sit back and take it almost and hope that it goes away.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I didn't see this.
You didn't watch any of it.
I didn't. I saw obviously the clips, it's everywhere. But I want to go watch.
So we drove back and forth to Dallas.
Yeah.
And I was skeptical that this was a smart decision when I made the decision. Delta doesn't have direct flights to Dallas, and by the time you start trying to connect somewhere, it is really door to door. It's easier just to drive. And I know I could just take a direct flight on another airline, but I'm loyal to Delta. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
so we just drove, and I didn't know if it would be a mistake, but I understood why other people thought it might be.
Yeah.
The drives were actually excellent. And the reasons were we had awesome live things to watch for most of the drive each time. On Sunday, we did separate the kids. That was smart. Put one in the front, one in the back. Me and Kelly split up.
Yeah, nice.
Smart. But on Sunday, me and Oliver, and I know you're not supposed to stream while driving. That's what they say. I actually think it's safer than texting and driving or scrolling your phone and driving.
Of course
it is.
Yeah.
So I was actually being safe.
Yeah.
U.S. Open. We watched the whole U.S. Open final round on Sunday.
Nice.
And that was awesome because I'm sure you heard Roy choked, Bryson won. So we had that. And on the ride home yesterday, we had a Kendrick Lamar concert to stream on the way home.
How about that?
We watched it the entire way home. How do you handle this with your kids?
Uh-oh.
The language.
Oh.
You can't keep it from them because, like, you ready for this? My kids know all the Kendrick Lamar songs. They would hear Not Like Us every day, whether I played it for them or not. On the other hand, and I don't even care about the cuss word. It's the one word.
So I try to play edited stuff best that I can.
We do too, but there was no way to do that last night, and I wanted to watch this live.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wanted at least Oliver to experience. That was a big musical moment last night, and I wanted him to see it and experience it. But I'll just tell you, as a white person who is a fan of hip hop, and whose kids listen to hip hop as well, you have to really have these conversations with them. Like, I don't care how often you hear that word, and you can never say that word ever under any circumstance. Like, these are I've had to have with my kids since they were 3-4 years old because they hear that word. Like, when we were kids, that word wasn't in songs everywhere. It just wasn't.
That's true.
Now it's in every big song, at least in that genre, or at least most, right? And it can be a hard thing for a young person to understand. Like, I want to be clear, my kids have never heard that word come out of a white person's mouth, I don't think. They certainly never heard it in our home or anything like that. But they hear that word every day.
Yeah.
Every day. So, like, how do you, because we had this moment last night where it was like, it was 4 hours of inward this, inward that. And I'm trying to, like, I want my kids to enjoy this, but I also want them to, like, this is dangerous.
So, like, when we're in the car, I'm pretty good at, like, I like to sing in the car. Or I like to sing along.
Yeah.
And so
be careful with that. You can't do that.
Well, no. But I'm pretty good at, like, just like the like just raising my voice like during certain parts of the song, like, so they don't hear it. Like,
when we are listening to normal music in the car, even with on Spotify, like, you can just type in anything and like there's so many playlists of public playlists out there on Spotify. You can even like type in new rap clean on Spotify and it'll just give you all the biggest rap songs that are in rotation right now, edited, right? So that's the kind of stuff we'll do. But I wasn't capable of editing anything. We just had to watch it together or not. Keep in mind, it wasn't like we were at home and I could go upstairs and or go down, send them up, whatever. Like, we were in a car.
Yep.
We had to watch it together or not watch it together. I guess I could have put AirPods in, but I wanted my kids to experience it. I wanted my family to experience it. It was a big moment. And but it was like, you got to really, like, every 3 minutes, you have to be like, listen, you understand, right? You understand that's a word you're hearing a lot. And we've been over this for years. This was like the 100th conversation we had last night. But that is I wonder if am I the only one having this conversation?
Maybe. I mean, I haven't, but my kids are younger than your kids.
Right. Mine are 10.
Yeah.
My two young guys are 10 and 7.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to just, because I don't even care about the other words. I mean, I'd prefer them not to say them. S word, F word, whatever. I prefer them not to say them. But, like, if you slip up and say that word because it's in your favorite song and you've heard it 50 times today, people might think you're like a little trashy kid, but they won't think you're a racist.
Right.
You say the other word because you heard it in the song 50 times. Well, now you got real problems, right?
Yep.
So it's a real struggle. I know everybody's got their own struggles in life, but this is one of my struggles, trying to watch the Kendrick Lamar concert last night with my kids, but also making sure they understand there are certain words you're going to hear tonight. I don't care how many times you hear them, you can't say them. But broadly speaking, it was a fun experience. Made the drive go by just like that. And of course, I'm sure you've seen this, but now he closed with Not Like Us and played it like 5 different times and brought everybody on stage. And it really did just look like a party. People were making the comments that, he had rival gang members on stage together, like dancing together.
Wow.
Like he brought I don't want to get too much into it because I don't even know that I'm appropriate to speak on it. But, like, really did bring the city together. And I saw this comment last night, and this was not something that would have ever occurred to me. And I don't even know if it's true, if this is really an explanation for what we saw last night, because it really was a party inside the Kia Forum. That's what it looked like. Not like a concert. It looked like a party. And somebody tweeted this last night. And it was somebody from LA, and I don't know. If they think it matters, then maybe it did. I just thought it was interesting. Here's what they tweeted. Los Angeles lost Nip and then lost Kobe less than a year later. They didn't celebrate the titles for the Lakers or the Dodgers. Didn't have the big parades. Lakers win NBA championship, Dodgers win a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't celebrate either one of those because of the pandemic. The city's been waiting for something to celebrate. And this moment and this song and this event on Juneteenth gave LA a moment to celebrate something that had been building towards this moment quite literally for years. You buy that?
I can buy it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who might argue with it? It looked like a party. I had a good time. It's on Amazon Prime right now. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you're Drake, but I think you got to keep your ring because if you give it back, I don't think he's going to respect you for giving it back. I think he's just going to call you a bitch again. That's what he already did with the Wayne stuff. He said you banging on Wayne's girl. That was scummy behavior. But then he said, you know what? Then you apologized to Wayne. And you know what he said? You're a little bitch.
Wow.
Can't win with Kendrick. I think that's the lesson. I don't think you can win with him. I don't think Drake can win with it. So you might just need to mute him. Just mute him and just stay away and hope this all goes away at some point. I'm not sure there's any great pass for Drake here, but that's what you get for being a master manipulator and a colonizer. Sometimes what goes around comes around. I think Justin Timberlake said that.
Number 2.
Don't let the Indiana Fever get hot.
Apparently
Are
not.
you letting the Indiana Fever get hot?
Someone is.
That's 3 in a row.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 in a row. 3 victories. If this
we knew it was going to take some time.
If this were bowling, that'd be a turkey.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just women's basketball, so it's just a 3-game winning streak. Caitlin Clark last night, 18 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 6 turnovers. We don't have to focus on the negative. Let's focus on the good. They started 0-5, and now they're 6-10.
Okay.
So that means above 500.
She's back.
Since starting 0-5.
She is so back.
Hey, how about this? Did you know this? Caitlin Clark is now the first rookie in WNBA history to have 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 15 assists in a 2-game span. She's doing something that's never been done.
Oh.
In addition to selling tickets like crazy, she's doing something that she told them they woke up a monster. They snubbed her from the Olympic team.
They did.
And she said, you know what? They just woke up a monster. And you know what she's been doing since then? Being a monster.
Well, I think, too, she doesn't have to play the Connecticut Sun every night.
Thank God for that.
They played them like 500 times to start the season.
That's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, whatever.
Yeah.
But
that's the best team in the league.
The WNBA did not schedule. I know they were trying to get Caitlin Clark against I understand, but what we've learned through this is that the country will watch Caitlin Clark play against anybody. We don't care. It could be the Connecticut Sky or Penn State. We don't care. Just put her on a court and people will watch, right? So would have been better. I'd have got my staff in and I said, okay, who's going to be the 5 worst teams in the WNBA this season? And when they gave me those 5 teams, I said, okay, that's going to be 5 of Caitlin Clark's first 8 games.
Yeah.
We're going to try to get her off to a good start against bad teams. Instead, they were like, let's let her play the Connecticut Sun 8 times in a row.
Yeah,
let's let her play the Connecticut Sun 8 times in a row and get her brains beat in.
Yep.
But now, hey, she's got her feet underneath her.
Good.
She's getting comfortable now. She's doing things that's never been done by rookies in the WNBA.
Schedule's heating up.
And, probably doesn't mean they're headed toward the playoffs, but it is important for the WNBA for her and her team just to stay, if not relevant, like not embarrassing.
Yeah.
And they're heading that direction now. They're playing better. And that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm proud of them.
Number 3.
Cameron Brink, fellow rookie.
Damn,
Torn
man.
ACL. She's done for the year.
My favorite player.
A lot of people's favorite player.
I'm a fan.
A lot of people are fans.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a bummer to see.
Think so?
Yeah. And I knew that. I knew right when she went down, I was like, yep.
You knew it.
That knee is messed up. It bent in a weird way.
She has become a part of this story. Clearly, the centerpiece is Caitlin, and I think after that, Angel Reese. But Cameron Brink became a part of this thing in a way that maybe other people understood.
Well,
she was the second pick in the draft. I mean, like, whatever. But I'm just full transparency. I didn't know who Cameron Brink was a year ago.
So obviously she takes great pictures, and so she's like super famous on social media, right? But on top of that, was one of the best rookies. But she was playing great before this happened, and she plays in LA,
right?
So
Jimmy Butler came out to see her.
Yeah,
he sitting courtside in her jersey,
That's a bummer, man. Because that was...
Is that weird or not weird? Jimmy Butler, when he showed up, did you see this a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
He showed up, like Cameron Brink was on something talking about I love Jimmy Butler. And next thing you know, like Jimmy Butler's sitting courtside at her game in her jersey. Is that awesome or creepy?
No, I think it's awesome because he's her favorite player in the NBA.
I know.
So no, I think it's cool.
Well, if he's trying to move in, would that be weird?
I mean, maybe I don't know.
I don't know either. It's not for me to say.
They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want.
They're both adults.
They're both adults. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But it almost felt like, hey, this young blonde, you're her favorite player. Cool. I'm gonna go see what's up. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like to me. It'd be like if I was Jimmy Butler and you came to me and you were like, hey, you know that waitress at the Saucer? And I'd be like, yeah. And you'd be like, you're her favorite customer. I'd be like, all right, well, I'm going to go see what's up.
Yeah, right.
Right? That's what it felt like to me Jimmy Butler was doing.
I feel you. I mean, we see a ton of NBA players at WNBA games now. So, I don't know. Maybe not in other people's jerseys, but I respect it.
I think I respect it, too.
I like Jimmy.
No matter what he was trying to do, I think I respect it. If he was just trying to be a fan, that's fine. And if he was trying, but he's not the first guy to try to hook up with Cameron Brink. If he tried to hook up with Cameron Brink, she does take good pictures.
She's great.
She got long legs.
Yep.
That's part of being a WNBA star, at least for her. She got long legs.
She does.
Yeah. Anyway, torn ACL.
That sucks.
They're going to have to cut on those legs.
Yep.
She was a part of, she was becoming like.
No, she was a part of this.
I didn't know.
That's what I was saying.
I didn't know her 6 months ago, but now I'm very aware of her.
It's obviously led by Caitlin Clark. We talked about this a few weeks ago, but this rookie class is full of big stars. It's just led by Caitlin Clark,
sure.
Right? So, yeah, that was a bummer.
Well, some of it is you start looking at Caitlin Clark and then, your eyes, you see everything in the picture. Mm-hmm. Well, she's not the only thing in the picture.
Right.
She's the main thing in the picture.
Right.
She's the main thing drawing you, and
right.
then you see what else you see, right? This was part of the argument. And we're not going to go back down this road. But this was part of the argument people made in support of her being on the Olympic team. Whether you think she belongs or not, she is something people look at. Mm. And if you really want, A'ja Wilson to be as famous as you think her talent suggests she should be, well, then having Caitlin Clark be a part of this makes people look at her because she'll be the one playing and scoring all the points. She'll be the best player on the team. So it's almost like it's a terrible comparison, but you'll get the point. Mm. I read a story a million years ago, back when, you remember when newspapers were a thing?
I do remember newspapers.
Okay, and they would have car ads in newspapers, right? And one of the things car lots would get in trouble for sometimes, I think I'm not making this up, they would put a car in there, in their ad. Mm-hmm. And it'd be like, we got this car and here's the price. And everybody would be like, that's an amazing car. That's an amazing price. Oh my God, we've got to go to this car lot. I got to get that car. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Then when you would get there, it's not there anymore. They'd say, oh yeah, we already sold that. But hey, we got something just like, and now that they're using that thing
getting over on
to
you.
get you to come in, and then now just look at this other thing. We can't get you to look at this other thing without giving you this thing to look at first. So we're going to give you this thing to look at, and then then you won't even know what happened. You're going to be looking at this other thing. That's Caitlin Clark. She can make you look at the other things. There will be people who would have watched the Olympics, even if she was sitting on the bench, who will not watch it now. That's just true, right? It's just true. For the same reasons, there are people who watch Caitlin Clark WNBA games and they don't turn on the one she's not on, right? It's just true. So that was one of the arguments, is that she can make you pay more attention to the women you think deserve more attention. You say these other women deserve more attention. Well, she's the key to getting it for them. That was the argument, at least among the arguments. And people said, well, she doesn't deserve it, so whatever. It's fine with me. Cameron Brink's the same type of thing, though. I didn't know who Cameron Brink was a year ago. Mm-hmm. I don't think I would know who Cameron Brink is now, if not for Caitlin Clark. I'm aware of her because she was the person picked after Caitlin Clark.
Oh, I think you know who Cameron Brink was, with or without Caitlin Clark.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and we can smile about it, whatever.
And she plays for LA. That's a big market.
She's not the only pretty girl in the WNBA.
I know.
I bet there are a bunch of pretty women in the WNBA. I bet there's a bunch of attractive women. What's the best way to say this? That I'm not even aware of. I think I became aware of Cameron Brink in part because she was a celebrated rookie in the class with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. That's how I didn't know her before that.
Yeah,
I don't know that I don't know if she was the second pick in last year's draft. I don't know that I would know who she is. But she became famous as a part of this moment, and now her ACL's screwed up.
That
I hope she gets that fixed. They say she's going to. She's gonna get it fixed.
And she got picked to be on that Olympic team too, that 3-on-3 team.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to replace her. I know, man. That sucks. And she got emotional about it. There was like a great video of her when she found out she made the team, and obviously she's not gonna be able to do it now. So that sucks.
That does suck.
Yeah.
Well, she'll get better. Hey, as someone who has torn their ACL before, look at me now. Look at me, Cameron Brink.
I mean, you don't have to go play in a basketball game.
Hey, Cameron Brink, you can end up just like me.
Okay.
That'd be terrifying for her.
She'd probably thrive in the podcasting world.
Yeah, I know, but like she wouldn't want to give up 6 inches.
That's true.
You know?
That's
you
true.
told Cameron Brink you could be a podcaster, but you have to be short and fat and put on glasses. She wouldn't want to do that.
You're
I don't
not
think.
fat, man.
She wouldn't. I don't think she'd want to do that. Anyway, I wish her luck. She's gonna get her knee fixed, and I look forward to seeing her on the court again.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Tennessee's in the College World Series final.
How about that?
As you remember, we started this thing, and we had 8 teams in the College World Series. 4 from the ACC, 4 from the SEC. Now we only have 2 left, both from the SEC. You know what that tells me? ACC, they ain't ready for this yet.
No, they're not ready for this.
That's cute. You can get to the College World Series, but don't try to win it.
Yeah.
Not with SEC schools in it.
You asked me the last time we talked about this if I could find it in my power to get behind the Tennessee Volunteers and root for them to be able to accomplish this feat. And I said it was tough right now, but holler at me down the road and maybe, I'll have a change of heart. I have had a bit of a change of heart. I think I will be rooting for the Vols.
The Vols won you over.
You know why?
That heroic come from behind victory against the Florida State Seminoles?
No. It's because of their opponent.
You hate Texas A&M.
Texas A&M's weird.
They are weird.
They're weird over there.
Why are they so weird?
I don't know, dude. They're weird over there.
I agree.
Yeah, it's easy for me to root against the weirdos.
Like, you ever see that cheer practice?
It gives off some weird vibes.
Buddy.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know how nobody has ever pulled them aside and been like,
This is weird.
This is not what you think it is.
This makes me uncomfortable.
This is
every
not,
time I see it.
I know you think
when they came here for did they play in the Liberty Bowl? They came here. I think it was A&M and maybe West Virginia, and they came here and had a big pep rally downtown, and I was down here for it. And the whole time I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
When they start that yell practice or
I
cheer,
don't like
whatever
that.
it's, I don't like it either.
I don't like
it's
that.
just weird. It's just that's what it is. You got it right. It's just weird.
Yep.
Like you're a college student, and you're making up weird yells.
Yeah.
What?
I don't like that yell.
Go study.
Yeah, get your ass in the classroom.
Go to study hall. What are you out here yelling for? They're just weird. I think you've got it right. They're just weird.
Yeah.
So I would root for anybody against Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Unless it's the men's basketball program because I love Buzz Williams.
I like Buzz Williams too.
But-
I like Buzz Williams. He
but
doesn't participate in all that.
No, he doesn't care about the base. I mean, I don't want to speak for Buzz, but I'm willing to root against Texas A&M.
Yep.
I'm willing to take Buzz and sit him over here and root against Texas A&M because outside of Buzz, they're weird.
Right.
Plus, I kind of like Tennessee. And they got a couple Memphis area kids on the team. You don't know nothing about Ethan Payne.
What's Ethan up to?
I don't know, but he played at Germantown High.
Okay.
Matthew Dallas, Briarcrest High graduate.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
Matthew Dallas. That's
Matthew
a strong name.
Yeah.
It's like a movie star.
Yeah, I tell you all the time.
Starring Matthew Dallas.
Yeah, and starring Matthew Dallas. Yeah, it does work.
Yep.
Does work.
Where'd he play?
Briarcrest.
Okay.
We like to think of ourselves as a basketball city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hoop City.
Yep.
We're more of a baseball area. We produce more high-level baseball players than we do high-level basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
It's because these little idiots start playing year-round when they're 5 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the byproduct is we get multiple players in the College World Series final. So I'm rooting for Tennessee. I like the coach. Tony Vitae seems like people like him. People like him. This would be his first championship. Tennessee, he's taken over this program and taken it straight to the top of the sport, but they haven't broken through yet. They're 2 wins away from their first College World Series championship. As the 1 seed, they are favored to get it. Game 1 is going to be Saturday night.
Okay.
Game 2 on Sunday, and it's a best of 3. So if we need that third game, that'd be played on Monday. But the Vols, Tennessee Vols, our neighbors to the east, our friendly neighbors to the east.
Shout out.
Shout out. Go big orange. Is that the way you do it?
I believe it's GBO.
GBO?
Yes.
GBO.
I believe it's GBO.
GBO. Hey, let's go win a baseball title. Tennessee?
Good luck, guys.
Say it. GBO.
Good luck.
Say it.
Good luck, Big Orange.
Get it out of your mouth.
No.
GBO. I want to see it coming out of your mouth.
No.
You can't do it?
No. Go Tigers, go.
He can't. He can't do it.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry. I said I'd root for him.
Okay, it's all right.
Number 5.
Hey, I made my first trip to Globe Life Field. I went to Globe Life Field.
I saw your videos.
Hey, it was fun.
Yep.
We had a good time. I tell you what, some people don't like indoor baseball stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those people.
It was nice.
It was awesome. I've been cold at baseball games before.
Yep.
I've been hot at baseball games before. When you walk in Globe Life Field, it's 72 degrees, buddy. And
That is pretty nice.
And it ain't moving. I tell you who really liked it. Wife. She sat through some miserable baseball games.
Yep.
She walked in this place, and within seconds, she was like,
cool.
This is the best. It really felt like, and I don't know how to explain it, but it didn't feel like you were walking into a stadium that was indoor as much as it just felt like you were walking indoors and there happened to be a baseball field down there. Does that make any, I don't even know if it makes sense, but it didn't feel like I'm indoors watching baseball. This is weird. It just felt like you were indoors and there happened to be a baseball game going on and it was really pleasant and the people were great and my boys had a great time. It was a wonderful experience.
I don't know if any teams have stadium plans going on right now, any MLB teams, but I would not be surprised if this is the way that, like, when a team is up for a new stadium, I would not be surprised if this is the way it goes going forward with all franchises.
Well, especially in franchises like Dallas,
in
Texas.
the cities. Yep.
Atlanta is going to be their next one.
Northeast, you might be okay.
Yeah, except up there, it's like you go to a Mets game in April, it's cold.
Yep.
You know, like opening day in New York, Boston, it's going to be cold.
Yep.
All right, Philadelphia, cold. So, I mean, the one you may tell you where we're going to really get it someday. Every SEC football stadium is going to be closed.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed. It's going to be too hot.
It's going to be too hot.
I mean, you can be kicking off, like, it's already too hot.
Hell yeah, dude. I can remember sitting at, it was Memphis UCLA, and that was a September game when Josh Rosen came into town and the Tigers won that game, and it was miserable.
I was there. Me and Vernon were in the end zone on the front row, and it was miserable. You're exactly right. I mean, we had a blast.
Just pouring sweat.
It was so hot. And that's only going to get worse. I don't know how much you follow, you know.
Oh, yeah, we ain't got to get in all that.
I don't know how much you follow climate change. But it's going to get worse.
You don't have to use that word. It's hot.
It's going to get hot.
It's just going to be hot.
It's going to get hotter. And there will be a day where it's like, if you live long enough, you will read about Ole Miss building at the very least, retractable roof stadium.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be too hot to play football during the day in September.
Yeah.
At some point, if it's not already there. So they've just removed that entire, honestly, when I was looking at what, I didn't know if we were going to go to both games or whatever. I was looking at tickets. I forgot. And there was a chance of rain on Tuesday. And I said, well, then we're going to go we'll go Monday for sure because it might get rained out Tuesday. And I was like, it's not getting rained out. They got a roof, right? But you get in there, it's amazing. Yeah. It feels great. It looks great. Everything's just, that ballpark in Arlington's still sitting right there next to it. It's just sitting there. Whole ballpark. Looks like they could play in it today.
Really?
It's just there. I thought they'd turn it into a parking lot already, but it's just there. Apparently, I don't know if it's the same football league our Showboats play in, but there's some football team that plays in there, but it's still sitting right there. But we got tickets right by the Mets dugout. We don't go that often, so when we go, we try to do it right. And sat right by the Mets dugout, so the kids, because they spend every night watching Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso.
So they got to see them.
I mean, Pete Alonso's no further from us than you are right now. And like my kid, like Louis gets really into it. He's yelling, "Come on, Pete!" He cheers for the Mets because he plays this little baseball, and they all cheer for each other in the dugout. They're all chanting and stuff the whole time, and he does that at the baseball game. He cheers for Francisco Lindor like he's his teammate. And got a couple of balls. Apparently I didn't recognize him, but the former Rangers player sitting right next to us. I didn't know who he was. I didn't ask. Some other people were like, he used to play for the Rangers. But Lou was trying to get a ball, and it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And we're pretty deep into the game, and he was starting to get a little upset.
Yeah.
And Lou Severino, former Yankee pitcher, now with the Mets, saw Louie and was like, I'll get you one. And then he got one, and he tossed it to the former Rangers player, and the Rangers player came over and gave it to Lou.
Nice.
So Francisco Lindor waved at him. Lou Severino Starling Marte.
Yep.
Lou wanted to, I guess this is the thing kids do, want to play rock, paper, scissors with a stranger.
How about that?
So Lou was like, Marte, rock, paper, scissors. He played rock, paper, scissors with Starling Marte.
Love
so the
it.
whole thing was just fun. And I've told you before, being a visiting fan, and that, I want to take the boys every summer to a different ballpark to see the Mets on the road, to experience new things and just say, hey, we've been there and all that. And sometimes the fans don't love that you're there, right? Mm-hmm. They want to tell you, the Mets suck. Like, we don't know. Like, you don't think we know the Mets suck?
Right.
We've been living this for a long time. We know the Mets suck.
They were cool in Texas.
The best.
How about that?
Couldn't have been nicer. Hey, can we take your picture? Hey, let us get you another ball for your other kid.
Nice.
Hey, congratulations on the win. You guys are starting to turn it around a little bit. Just nice people.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
Nice.
Wonderful trip.
Good.
We had some breakdowns here and there.
Oh, yeah.
You can always have a breakdown here or there. I mean, did I walk around a stadium for 45 minutes trying to buy a $15 Sharpie? Because my middle guy wanted to
get an autograph.
to get an autograph. So we walked around for 45 minutes, felt like looking for a Sharpie that didn't exist.
No.
And why you might be going, well, why did you do that? Because if you don't do that, you know what you're dealing with?
A meltdown.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to do that. Sometimes you got to do stupid stuff like walk around a ballpark looking for a Sharpie.
That is very
just to avoid
true.
the meltdown, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I don't want to gloss over it. We had some of that too. But broadly speaking, drive down, we watched the U.S. Open. Drive back, we watched Kendrick Lamar concert.
Nice.
In between, we hung out with Starling Marte and Lou Severino and Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor, and they got 22 hits. It's fun to watch your favorite team get 22 hits.
The Mets are playing well, man.
They have won 7 of 8.
Shout out to Grimace.
They're only one game out of the wild card now.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Grimace. Threw out the first pitch and immediately went on a 7-game winning streak after that. Let's go Mets. Can you say that?
Let's go Mets.
Let's go
I'm
Mets.
in.
It's a fun time. I like Globe Life. 2 thumbs up for me. As far as I'm concerned, I know it lacks character. That's what people told me on Twitter. It lacks character. I don't know. You know what else it lacked? Humidity.
Nice.
You know what? And if you tell me I can only have one thing, character or no humidity, you know what I'm picking every time? No humidity. We'll worry about character another day. Just give me the baseball stadium with no humidity. That's what we had. I'll go back. I'll go back and just hang out, just sit there. I don't even care if they're playing baseball. It was just comfortable.
Just let me in.
The seats were comfortable and the air conditioning was perfect. Be back with GP's Carryout.
Mike did his favorite black films of all time. Mike, where we at?
If there's one movie I know every single line to, it is Coming to America.
There we go.
It is Coming to America. It can come on any time of any day, and I'm going to stop and watch at least 20 minutes of it.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
I think we have the college basketball title futures. UConn's #1.
I really like Houston. I'd have them winning it all, but you can't be giving Drake jerseys. What is wrong with you?
Maybe the Drake curse is stronger in college basketball.
How long has he been riding with Kentucky?
He wore an Alabama jersey and Saban retired.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Some big music news this morning that broke we didn't get to yet. Travis Scott was arrested down in Miami.
I saw that. I saw his mugshot.
He's arguing with folks. Pretty good mugshot. We've had some good mugshots this week, you know?
Yeah. What's the other one?
Well.
Oh, yeah. No, fair enough.
I don't talk about that one.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't talk about that one. You know, I don't talk about that.
Say less.
But we've had some pretty good mugshots this week, you know?
Yes.
You know, like, I hope I never.
Famous mugshots,
I
yes.
hope I never have to get a mugshot. That's what I would prefer in this life.
Yep.
I'd like to never get a mugshot. But if I do get one, I'd like to look like Travis Scott. Or like that other fellow that got one this week. You know, either one of them. They both took good mugshots.
I think you're right. I don't think either of them were bad. Yeah,
I don't
pretty
think.
good.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
I don't think I could. Like, if you gave me 2 days and said, we're going to take your mugshot, I want you to look as good as you can look. I don't think I would look as good as Travis Scott, drunk and exhausted.
I don't think I could either.
It's tough out here for us, man.
Mine would just be like this.
I'd be like this too. I'd be like this.
I would never smile. I think smiling is out of line.
How would you do a mugshot? I've thought about this before.
Like this right here. Because I want people, I don't want to like look too aggressive, but I want people to know that I'm sad about the situation.
Sure.
So I would just be like.
I think that's a good look.
Mm-hmm.
How is this?
I don't know. I might crack a little bit more of a, maybe a little bit smirk.
Like that. Hold on. How's this?
No, that's too aggressive. That's too aggressive.
I don't know how to take a mugshot.
That's too aggressive. You got to work on it, dude.
Can I do it like this? What do I just do it like this?
No.
Well,
that will not go over
How about
well.
this is serious? Like I just
I
just got into a fight on a yacht.
Serious, yes.
I just got into a fight with a yacht. Now I'm booked.
Yep. I think that's fine. Yeah, you got to be a little serious.
Why are you fighting on a yacht? Seems like the last place you'd want to fight.
I know, that sounds like a great time.
I see Leonardo DiCaprio on yachts all the time. He's never fighting.
Never.
He's just laying next to 20-year-olds.
I know.
That's all he lays next to 20-year-olds. Travis Scott always trying to fight people. He fought Cher's boyfriend like yesterday.
Did he really?
I mean, it wasn't yesterday, but
they did fight.
He fought Cher's boyfriend, and then remember he got into the altercation in the club in New York, like down there in Times Square. He was throwing stuff. He might have a temper problem.
It appears that way.
You think he loses his temper a little too much?
He might.
I'll tell you what I read. I'll tell you what sources told Page Six back in the day. That one of the reasons Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott's relationship did not last.
Bad temper.
He got a bad temper. He pops off too much.
Well,
you know, he fights people on a yacht. Apparently, did you read the story?
No.
Okay, so he's just on a yacht and he's drunk. All right, starts there. Everything starts there.
Yep.
And you know, somebody said something and he didn't like what they said, and now you're in an argument and it's escalated. And so the cops come, and they're like, "All right, buddy, you know." Finally, he says, "I got to go, but I'll be back." He does one of those "I'll be back."
Mm-hmm.
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger invented that.
Yes.
I'll be back, but then now Travis Scott uses it. Travis Scott basically turned into Terminator. Okay. He said, "I'll be back."
Terminator 2. Yeah.
Terminator 2. He said, "I'll be back," and he came back. And when he came back, I don't think he thought this through too much. The cops were just there waiting on him.
Damn.
And he was wild, and so they arrested him. It's apparently a minor charge. It's not like he's not going to do life in prison over this.
Doubt it.
He's not going to do life in prison, but he might need to get his temper under control.
Oh, I'm sure there's counseling in his future.
Well, it's one thing when your kids or your wife are driving you crazy, but like absence of them on a yacht, you should be happy.
I think so too.
Shouldn't you?
Yes.
I don't know what's going on with this guy, but I hope if he needs help, and I don't know if he does. I don't know Travis Scott, but if he needs help, and you know, some people have suggested that he does. I don't know that. I can't speak to it. It's none of my business. But if he needs help, I hope he finds it.
Me too.
That's what you hope too?
Yes.
All right, let's get out of here with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but in the first hour, we mostly focused on the 2024 NBA draft. This time next week, we're going to know.
I'm ready.
This time next week, we're going to know. We're going to be sitting here this time next week.
Man.
I mean, we won't be sitting here this time next week. I'll be in Stamford, Connecticut. You'll be here, though. But we will be talking.
I'll be here. We'll be doing a draft show at Southland, so tune in.
I would love to be there. I wanted to be there, but I'm going to have to be somewhere else. But I would have loved to have been there. I tell you what, I'm going to have
I'll text you. I might need some pointers.
Whatever you need.
Yeah, I'm going to text you.
And if I
know you'll be busy.
I know,
like,
but if you whatever you need, just text me. And if I don't know it, I'll text Jonathan Gavoni or something.
Okay, good.
We'll get it covered. Well, whatever you need to know, I'll let you know. Like if you need a height on Alex Sarr, I'll figure that out for you. So this time next week, I won't be sitting here. I'll be sitting in a hotel room. But I'll have my nice little Gary Parrish show backdrop, and I'll be talking to you. And we'll have all understanding of what happened the night before on night one of the 2024 NBA draft. Did the Grizzlies use the 9th pick on a player? Did they move up? Did they move down? Did they move out of the first round completely? Right now, we don't have those answers, but we're going to have them this time next week. And the big news that we talked about that had emerged since the last time we spoke, as it pertains to the 2024 NBA draft, is that Alex Sarr still has not worked out for the Atlanta Hawks. And it's not just because, they're scheduled to have him in on Sunday. Mm-hmm. They've wanted to get him in already, and he has not come in. And there is some thought that he might just pass on working out for the franchise that owns the number one pick in the draft, which, like we talked about earlier, is a little confusing on a surface level, but I'm sure he has his reasons, or his agency has its reasons. Either way, and this is the point I made earlier, if you're a Grizzlies fan and the Hawks are leaning toward at this moment, and this is what most of the reporting suggests, Zachary Richichet, the wing from France, well then I think that's good for the Grizzlies, because what it does is it guarantees that either Alex Sarr or Donovan Clingan will be there at 3, and though the Grizzlies aren't picking 3rd, they're picking 9th. They are reportedly interested in maybe moving up to obtain a Donovan Clingan. And as long as Richichet goes 1, that almost it almost certainly ensures that Clingan's there at 3.
Yep.
But it definitely ensures either Sarr or Clingan is there at 3. The other way it could go down is Richichet 1, Clingan 2, but then Sarr's there at 3. And if I'm the Grizzlies, I'm happy to move up for that too.
I think so too.
So you've got 2 franchise projected top 10 centers that could be there at 3, as long as Atlanta doesn't take one of them at 1. Clingan is an option there, but the big headline, Sarr has not worked out for Atlanta so far. He's worked out for other franchises, but not the franchise with the first pick. We'll see if that changes in the week leading up to the draft. But right now, all indications are Atlanta might be looking a different direction than the direction most of us assumed they'd be looking on the night that they, against all odds, won the 2024 NBA draft lottery.
What's today's biggest game?
It's Major League Baseball, Bennett. That's where I'm taking you
tonight.
Where
are we going?
You know where I'm taking you tonight?
I bet I know.
I don't think I've ever taken you here before.
Where are we going?
I think I'm taking you somewhere I never took you before.
Okay, I don't know then.
I'm taking you to Rick Woodfield.
Oh, I don't know where that is.
Birmingham, Alabama.
What?
Somebody doesn't respect the Negro Leagues.
What? Wait, what's going on?
Somebody doesn't respect the Negro Leagues. We're going to Rickwood Field.
Oh, this is a special event?
Juneteenth was yesterday, Ben.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
We're going there to celebrate. Can you celebrate with us tonight?
Absolutely.
All right, it's the Giants and the Cardinals. 6:15, it's on Fox. So big national televised. We ain't got a lot going on these. I don't know if you heard the NBA Finals is over.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley Cup, that should be over, any day now.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Brink's hurt.
Yep.
We're running out of stuff.
We got a massive one at Yankee Stadium.
It's afternoon game.
It's afternoon game. That's right.
But I wanted to focus on.
Yeah.
I wanted to focus on Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, let's go.
I spent a summer in Birmingham, Alabama. I remember.
I like Birmingham.
I was miserable the whole time, but I remember it fondly.
I like going to Birmingham.
I look back on it fondly. I was miserable the whole time.
It's a good city.
But I look back on it fondly. Giants and the Cardinals.
Yep.
On the mound for the Giants, Keaton Wynn. He stinks. 3-7, 6.66 ERA.
What the hell?
Andre Palante, he's pitching for the Cardinals. He's the 25-year-old from California. So tonight, St. Louis, minus 115 on the money line. The Giants are minus 105. First pitch, 6:15. Told you it's going to happen down in Birmingham. How you going to act?
You know what?
I don't know what.
I think I'm going to take the Giants.
You're anti-Cardinals.
Willie Mays passed away this week.
He did.
And I think this is the
Rest in
first,
peace.
might be the first game since then. It's a big game, nationally televised.
Win one for Willie.
Win one for Willie.
You think that's going to be the chant throughout the clubhouse in Birmingham today? In that Giants clubhouse, they're going to say, let's win one for Willie.
I think so.
The Say Hey Kid. We've lost a lot lately.
I know, dude. Yeah.
It's a lot of death lately, you know?
Yeah.
Jerry West, Bill Walton, Willie Mays.
Legends.
They're legends. Legends. And California legends.
That's right. It's all
Jerry
California
West,
legends.
LA, Bill Walton, California legend. Willie Mays, former Met. We got the worst years of him.
No, I was going to say,
we get the worst years of everybody.
For that.
We get the worst years of everybody. Willie Mays, Bobby Bonilla. We get the worst years of everybody.
Yeah.
But Willie Mays, he did most of his great work. He did it out in California. So you think today down in Birmingham, Alabama, win one for Willie, the Say Hey Kid. You're taking the Giants.
Yeah, I'm taking the Giants.
I don't mind it. Giants minus 105. That's the play. 6:15 tonight. First pitch. You can watch it on Fox.
What are we watching on TV?
I think if you missed the Pop-Out Ken show last night at the Inglewood Forum, just check that out. It's on Amazon Prime. How awesome is Amazon Prime? You can order anything in the world. They bring it to you in 2 days, right to your doorstep.
Yeah.
And if you want to watch a Kendrick Lamar concert, they got that too. What more do you want?
They are pretty good at what they do.
And they're going to bring us football.
They bring us a lot.
They're going to bring us the NBA.
Yep.
What more? I don't think we appreciate Amazon Prime as much as we should.
I think Amazon is properly appreciated.
I don't know. Sometimes I see people wanting to protest and boycott, and I get it, but I don't work there.
No, I don't either.
Like if I worked there, I might hate them, Because that's what I hear sometimes. Sometimes they don't let people even go on bathroom breaks. That's what I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I saw it somewhere.
I'm more of a brick and mortar guy.
I know you are.
I'm more of a brick and mortar guy.
I know that about you.
But my wife loves Amazon Prime.
I love it too.
Brother, there is a package daily at our front door.
I'm not exaggerating. Daily.
Yes.
The Amazon people come to my house every day.
Every day.
Sometimes I think they must be frustrated with us because they will bring packages.
Can you just order all of it together? Like, why are you doing this?
And my driveway ain't the shortest driveway in the world. It ain't the longest, but it ain't the shortest. And every once in a while, they just park it on the street. And I see these fellas just walking up there, and then they got to take a picture of it, and then they got to send you the picture. And sometimes I think they get frustrated with me because they'll bring me presents. I call them presents. I know they're not.
They are little presents.
I call them presents. I get to unwrap them. I like to call them presents. I know they're not really presents because they're just purchases, but I like to call them presents. I thought about putting a Christmas tree right out in front of my house and just telling the Amazon person, just put them under my little Christmas tree. I'll open them like, I have Christmas.
That'd be cool.
Have Christmas every day.
That'd be cool.
Right?
Yep.
Have Christmas every day. Sometimes they bring new presents, and I ain't even picked up my old presents yet. So I just got a pile of presents right in front of my house.
You know what you should do?
What
that
should
I've
I do?
seen a lot of people do that I think this is very cool. Is if people that get a lot of deliveries to their house, sometimes they'll put out
snacks.
A little snack tray and bottled water, and it says, delivery drivers, take a snack and a drink.
You think I should do that?
I think you should do that. Yeah, I think it's a nice touch. I love when I see that.
Would that require me to put a cooler out in front of my house? Can't just have hot water out there. Nobody wants hot water.
Oh, I think it's fine.
It's hot, then it's...
Yeah, but it's probably shaded under your front door. Like it's okay.
I need to get one of those little Yeti holders. You put it in the bottled water in there. It keeps it cool.
I think the water would be appreciated even if it's not cold.
Man, if somebody handed me hot water, I'd be upset. I went into a gas station the other day, and it was like I was trying to get a bottle of water, and it was like the freezer was broken, and it said, but you can get a couple of ice with your... And I was like, it's just too much. I'll just dehydrate.
Yeah.
Before I deal with all this, I'd rather just die than drink this hot water or get a cup of ice.
I mean,
I'd rather
you can save
die.
it for
I'd rather
later.
perish.
I think it's a nice touch.
What kind of snacks would you put out there? You think?
Chips, something that doesn't melt.
Yeah, not chocolate.
Yeah, chips.
I would prefer, like, if I were a delivery driver, I would like those little Andes mints. You know those?
Yes.
I love
they
those.
Melt. So
I know those would melt those, so they're not going to work. Maybe some Doritos or Pringles.
Exactly.
I think you're right, Bennett. I should take better care
Get
of
a
my
snack
Amazon.
tray.
I should
Put
take
a snack tray.
I should take better care of my Amazon
They'll
driver.
love you for it.
I want to be loved by my Amazon driver.
I know you do.
So
I know
think-
you. Yeah.
I want them to appreciate me.
Yep.
I've taken selfies with Amazon drivers before.
See? See?
You know what a guy said to me one time?
Huh.
He said, "Are you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Hey, can I get a picture?" And I said, "Of course." And I'm standing in my driveway, and he goes, we take a picture like two men would. And he said, He said, so who shaves your head?
Mm-hmm.
He looked at me. He said, so who shaves your head? And I said, oh man, I just do it myself. You know what he said? Yeah, I could tell.
Damn.
I was like, why?
Why?
I don't know why he took that on me like
Interesting.
that. I think he was trying to be like, yo, I can help you if you need a guy. I think he was trying to help me.
Yeah.
I don't think he was trying to insult me. But he did.
I think you do a great job, man.
I mean, I do it.
understand
It's
that.
half-assed sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I sit down. I can't see everything the way, say, a makeup artist can.
Sure.
So sometimes I'll sit down in the makeup chair and they'll be like, "You missed a spot again."
Right.
I'll get it for you, right? So I understood where the guy was coming from, but that's not where I thought this conversation was going. It went from, hey, I really enjoy this. Hey, man, where you get your head shaved? And then it went like, yeah, I could tell. I can tell you do it yourself.
All right, well, maybe don't give him a snack.
Yeah. Maybe he can't. He doesn't get a snack. No Pringles for this guy, but the rest of them I'd rather take care of. And shouts to Amazon Prime for giving us a significant moment in music history last night. It felt like a significant moment. Folks were streaming it. Folks were tweeting about it. If you haven't watched it yet and you're interested, it's still there for you. You can find it on Amazon Prime.
What's the best thing we've read?
So Jason Munn's had a Memphis basketball mailbag over at commercialappeal.com if you want to get updated on, possible transfer portal targets. Like, we're still doing that. But also an update on Penny's staff. It changes every year. I think the latest news is that it's now been confirmed by Munn's that Rick Stansbury will continue on Penny's staff as a full-time assistant. We expected that. We knew that. Also, that Mike Davis, the former UAB, former Indiana coach, will be a full-time assistant on Penny's staff. And the third assistant, the full-time assistant spot, is yet to be filled. Philip's still going to be on the staff. Jermaine Johnson's still going to be on the staff, but in support roles as opposed to a full-time assistant. So it seems like Penny still has to add a third assistant. When it became news, I guess it was last week when it first surfaced that Mike Davis is going to be on Penny's staff. Somebody reminded me of this Mike Davis story that I've told before. Do you know the Mike Davis, Bob Huggins, Andy Kennedy story that I've told before?
Kind of, yes.
It's such an outrageous story. It's told to me. I don't think AK would mind me telling the story, but he tells the story and he tells it better than I do. So, long time ago, this is back when Hugs was at Cincinnati and AK was still on his staff, right? So, long time ago. And they were, if I remember correctly, recruiting prep schools, like up in New England. And a lot of those prep schools are in little New England towns. And it's the type of little towns where, there might be one restaurant / casual bar. You go in and you can get you some, a burger and some fries and a nice cold beer or a vodka drink or whatever. So anyway, they go to evaluate and, they do what they do at the prep school. And then whether they're staying there the night or not, I'm not sure. But they decide, hey, it's time to settle into a table and get a bite to eat and let's have a few drinks. So they settle into this little restaurant and it's Hugs and AK. And they look over, you've probably done this before, you're eating lunch or you're eating dinner and you see somebody, you're in a bar and you see somebody that you know and they seem to be by themselves. And you're like, hey, when you by yourself? Come on over here. They see Mike. And he's by himself. He was there recruiting as well or on his way somewhere or something. And so they see Mike and they're like, hey, Mike, why don't you just come on over? So Mike Davis comes over and sits with Hugs and AK. Waitress comes over to take their order. And she's like, all right, guys, they do drinks. And Hugs is like, I'll take and I'm making this part up. I don't know what the drink order was exactly, but you'll get the point. Hey, give me a vodka cranberry. And AK was like, yeah, I'll take a vodka cranberry as well. And Mike Davis says, I'll just have a vanilla milkshake. She was like, okay, cool. 2 vodka sodas, vanilla milkshake coming up. Comes over and, a little vodka soda drink. And then Mike Davis, got a vanilla milkshake, a little cherry in it, the whole deal. All right. They're just sitting there talking basketball, whatever they're talking about, who knows. And so, Hugs finishes his drink. AK finishes his drink. Mike Davis, gets to the bottom of the milkshake. Waitress comes back over and she sees the drinks are down, the vodka cranberry drink, does what any good waitress would do. We need another round? Hugs is like, yeah, we'll take another round. AK is like, yeah, another round. And Mike Davis is like, yeah, another round. She's like, another round of vanilla milkshake. She's like, all right, 2 vodka cranberries, vanilla milkshake coming up. Deal. Comes back, boom, boom, vanilla milkshake. Hugs drinks vodka cranberry. AK drinks his vodka cranberry. Mike Davis is doing work on this vanilla milkshake. Waitress comes back around.
No.
She says, another? Hug's like, yeah, I'll take another. AK's like, yeah, I'll take another. Mike Davis like, yeah, give another round. Vodka cranberry, another vanilla milkshake. As AK tells the story, he's like, look, I know that there's a chance that Mike was looking at us and like, how are they drinking this many vodka cranberries? But by far the craziest part of this whole deal is this dude did like 70,000 calories of vanilla milkshake. Like if we had 9 vodka sodas, he had 9 vanilla milkshakes.
I love a vanilla milkshake.
I do too, but like that's...
I get a tummy ache.
That's heavy.
Yeah, dude.
That's heavy. I don't know. I don't even know if that's true. I just know it was a story that was told, and I wish it to be true because it's hilarious. The idea that Mike Davis is sitting there matching Hugs and AK, vanilla milkshake for vodka cranberry, drink for drink for drink. Like imagine you were sitting at the bar, and every time you ordered a Jack and Coke, the guy next to you ordered a chocolate milkshake and matched you drink for drink for drink. It is. You'd feel much better after 8 than he would feel after 8. They said Mike Davis was just housing these vanilla milkshakes like it was not like they were Viking cranberries, and now he's on Penny Hardaway's staff. So if you're a beat writer, maybe you can ask him how much he likes milkshakes someday.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yep.
That's Jessica Benson in studio.
She'll be here.
All right. Looking forward to that. Jessica Benson in studio. I think we got a Stanley Cup game tomorrow night.
We do.
All right.
Game 6.
You know, whatever. I think if one team wins, it's over, and if the other team wins,
that's right.
We get a Game 7. I believe that's the nature of all Game 6s.
That is it.
I feel like that's exactly the way Game 6s work.
Mm-hmm.
If one team wins, it's over, and if the other team wins, we get a Game 7. So this will be no different. I'm fired up. Food Truck Friday on tap.
No.
It's summertime today officially.
I know. I don't know why it's not started yet. I think it'll be here. I hope.
I mean, maybe they've decided we got to get a center before we get a food truck.
That makes sense.
What if they decide, what if
get the roster figured out?
We're just not privy to the conversations that are happening. But what if there are conversations happening?
Yeah.
And they've just decided, as an organization, we're going to do these things in a certain order, and this is the order. We're going to get a center, and once we have a center, then we'll restart Food Truck Friday.
Yeah. Okay.
I would have objected. I'd have said, I don't know why we can't have Food Truck Friday before we get a center, but it's fine. Not a big deal, right?
Right.
I don't have to get everything my way all the time. I can learn to compromise.
Yep.
I can learn to compromise. So if we got to get a center before we get Food Truck Friday back, it's fine with me. Jessica Benson will be here either way. Doesn't matter. She's here. Can't wait. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. We'll meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.